Pardon the interruption, but I'm Mike Wilbon. The Academy Awards were last night, Tony. Michael B. Jordan won Best Actor.
I'm Tony Kornheiser. Weren't we technically his co-stars in Creed?
Technically,
We were.
we might not have got credit, but our faces were on the screen.
No. We not only do we get credit, I continue to get residuals from Creed and Creed.
There we go.
2.
Pennies.
So, I mean, Michael B. Jordan should thank us.
You know what?
Do you know him?
Yeah.
No, he should thank us.
Love him.
They should thank
Love him.
You know?
He thanked me because I was sitting with him in LA in the restaurant.
But he's not Michael J. Jordan, Michael B. Jordan. Welcome to PTI, boys and girls. In today's episode, Team USA advances on a close call. Justin Fields has another new team, and Austin Reaves makes an intentional miss work for the Lakers. But we begin today with the NCAA bracket. The number one seeds are in order: Duke, Arizona, Michigan, Florida. Miami of Ohio ended up in the play-in on Wednesday as an 11 seed against SMU, and the winner will play Tennessee. The SEC has the most teams with 10. The Big Ten is next with 9. Wilbon, what is right and what is wrong with this bracket?
I didn't really see anything wrong with the bracket.
Good, more room for me.
Well, there's a lot of screaming and whining. What a shock coming out of New York with, my colleagues included, Stephen A. Smith, who are going on and on and on for 20 minutes about St. John's.
I'm going to do the same thing. So you go ahead.
You know I root for St. John's. You know that, all right? Actively for St. John's before it got popular the second time around. They could have been seated higher than
That's
fifth.
my point.
I would have seated them fourth, but I don't know that I'd have gone as high as third. But I'd have gone a number higher, and it might have gotten them in a bracket that's a little more, easy to navigate. By the way, I have St. John's beating Duke, but that's for another day. We'll get to that later in the week. So I don't see anything wrong with it. The Miami of Ohio piece, would I like to maybe have seen them be 12? Maybe, but they're going to play in Dayton, which is essentially at home. A home game to get warmed up, maybe get their mojo back before they go and then play Tennessee. So I'm okay with that.
Let me start with what's right. The first 4 seeds, they're right.
No argument.
Now, Duke is the number 1 seed in the whole thing.
Yeah.
They are in by far the toughest draw, not even close. And they are the number 1 seed. They give you the number 1 seed even though 2 of your starters have not played for a couple of games and may not play, and then they put you in this draw. Here's who they're with: UConn, Michigan State, Kansas, and St. John's. All of those schools are coached by people who have won the national championship, most of them more than one time. And they put Duke in that, and I think that, I'm not saying it's unfair, I'm saying it's tough, but it leads me to St. John's. I don't know how St. John's can be a 5. St. John's won the Big East regular season. They won the Big East tournament. They beat UConn by 20. UConn is a 2. They beat UConn by 20.
They also lost to
2
UConn
weeks
by
ago,
30.
34 points.
Yeah.
They missed their last, or 32 points.
Too.
They missed their last 24 shots in a row, then turned around and beat them by 20. And they're a 5. So what that tells you is the Big East has no particular currency anymore.
Nor
They only have
3
3 teams.
That's how St. John's gets seeded 5th.
I'll tell you what else I like. I like the 2s, and I want to read all the 2s. UConn, Houston, Purdue, Iowa State. I like them, but it brings me to this, and I think you will agree with this. I thought the Big 12 was the best conference all year.
It was.
They have 3 of the top 8 seeds. Yet, the SEC has 2 more teams in the tournament, even with only 1 of the top 8 seeds, Florida, and their next ones are 4s. And if Florida plays against Houston to go to the Final Four, do you know where that game is? Hello, it's in Houston. Like, thanks very much for being the defending champion. Now you have to beat Houston in Houston.
You know what? They are defending champions. Houston's been good consistently for a while.
Yes, for years.
Kelvin Sampson has had them up near the top. And I would argue that Houston had a better overall season than Florida, which came on late. Houston was there from day one, and they maintained it in what you just said.
Missed a couple of,
is the
lost a couple of high-profile games right in a row.
Terrific teams, one of whom,
lost a couple.
Both of whom are seeded higher.
Yeah.
Iowa State and Arizona.
Well, Iowa State is seated in the same spot.
Same spot. Okay, well, it's not like they embarrass themselves now. So in other words, nothing's wrong. You can give me that for the most part. Nothing really is wrong.
Right. I just think St. John's is undervalued.
You and Stephen A. and, Greeny. Greeny wasn't on this morning. You and Stephen A. Now, let's move to the women's bracket. Defending champ UConn is unbeaten and was awarded the overall number 1 seed. but the committee debated giving it to UCLA. The Bruins have won 25 straight against a stronger schedule, and their only loss came on a neutral court to Texas, who took the third #1 seed. Rounding out the number ones is South Carolina, of course, which has won 2 of the last 4 titles. Tone, do you consider UConn the clear favorite on the women's side?
I'm not going to say they're the clear favorite. I'm going to say this. They are decisively the #1 team. They deserve to be the #1 team. They are undefeated. They are 34-0. Their average margin of victory is 38.4 points. They only had one game where they didn't win by double figures, and that was a 3-point game with Michigan. If they win this year, it will be their 7th undefeated season. It will be Gino Auriemma's 13th national championship. And they're coming back. Last year, they won the title and lost the best player in college basketball, the player of the year, Paige Beckers, and they're back, and they may even be better. So, yes, they are decisively the #1 seed. Does that mean I think it's going to be a waltz? No, because UCLA's won 25 in a row.
25 in a row.
Because South Carolina has won 3 of these things with Dawn Staley, and because Texas beat twice. UCLA and beat South Carolina twice.
Yeah.
But my position would be this. We have seen UConn in this position,
they know
and
how to
they've
navigate
won.
this. They do this. And by the way, while their non-conference schedule, their out-of-conference schedule wasn't as impressive as UCLA's or South Carolina's.
They don't duck anybody.
No.
You can play them.
And they beat number 20 Louisville. It was early. They beat Michigan when they were number 6. They beat Iowa when they were number 11. They beat Tennessee at number 15. Tennessee, last I checked, is out of conference. So I'm not going to quibble with UConn's schedule as much as other people might be. And again, if there is any team in any sport currently that has a lifetime achievement
Benefit of the doubt.
it is UConn women's basketball.
Yes, it is.
It just is. Now, UConn, the Big East, again, weak, is just UConn and Villanova. But again, I'm not going to quibble. I'm not about to go against
So
Gino
thank you
here.
for mentioning Tennessee. Tennessee is a 10 seed with a record of 16-13. Not much of a record for a 10 seed. And their coach had said of the team, they have a lot of quit in them. He said that.
That's right.
But do you know how many years in a row they are now in this tournament? Do you want to take a shot at this?
I don't know the answer to this.
44.
Wow.
That is a wow.
Yes,
that
it
is a wow. 44 in a row.
Double lifetime.
Let's move to the World Baseball Classic. In a thrilling game last night, I watched this. The United States beat the Dominican Republic 2-1. Solo home runs accounted for all 3 runs. Aaron Judge, another great throw from right field. Julio Rodriguez, he went over the wall to bring back a Judge home run. But the play of the game was the last play, the last pitch, which looked low, but was nonetheless called strike 3 with a tying run on third base in the 9th. Wilbon, how does the clinching pitch in the U.S. win sit with you?
Awful. It's awful. It's just awful. It's a bad call. I don't want to hear people on any network, including this one, say seemingly might have been. It might have been Jack. It's a bad call. The pitch is said to be, and I heard Jeff Passan say this, 4 to 5 inches low. That's 2 baseballs, right? So what are we talking about here?
It's low.
It's low. It's bad. I don't want to see a game that great end on that.
Okay.
Is there anything you can do?
No.
It's baseball. You can't blame the umpire. You can't say they brought this dude in from outer Mars. No, he's been a Major League Baseball umpire, was for 12 years. No, it's awful. By the way, it wasn't the only bad call. There were a couple. Both went against the Dominican.
So it's a bad call. It's a low pitch. Okay, there's no question about that. Juan Soto had the same call against him earlier in the game. It bolsters the argument for automatic umpiring. But, and here's the big but, and I know you will agree with this. This is the baseball you and I grew up with. This is how it works. The umpires get 99% of the calls right, and when they miss one badly, that is the one that you remember. I was gratified that Albert Pujols in the postgame did not dwell on it.
It was great.
He was philosophical about baseball. Like you and I, this is baseball. This is the last time it's going to happen. The next time they play
they'll all
this
be doing this. They'll all
the
be
next time they play this thing, that's right. They're going to have robotic umpires, and Major League Baseball is going to have them. And what would happen is the DR would say, no, we challenge, they would win. They'd have first and third with Tatis coming up. which is changes.
But they already left
changes
too
the
many
game.
men on base. They left 2 men on base. They had 2 men on base and nobody out in the previous inning, and they couldn't push anybody in. They had runners in scoring position. They left. Yes,
It's
yes,
a great
yes,
tournament,
yes,
isn't it?
yes.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
a great tournament.
Yeah, it is.
Can
and
I-
by the way, Japan going out. I watched that game
Yes.
live,
Yes.
and to see Shohei not come through. You know what it's
Even
like?
though he hit a previous home
He hit
run.
a previous home run.
How many is supposed to hit?
But you know what? You know what it's almost like? I can't believe I'm going to say this. It's almost like watching 23 in red miss the last shot, which I know he famously says, honestly, I missed more of them than I made, even though we don't believe that because he hit so many. You think Shohei's going to go deep. Now, I know there's a multiple run lead. He's not going to tie it. It's not going to change the game necessarily. But to see Shohei weakly pop out to the second baseman or shortstop, that was a stunner.
They pay the pitchers, too.
I know.
All right,
I
let me
know.
just say, I want to give DeRosa credit for one thing, because he
Okay.
got slammed all week for not knowing that we
Yeah.
were not technically in the quarterfinals. He made a lineup change last night that really worked. He saw in the analytics that Gunnar Henderson has a great night most of the time against Luis Severino.
Yeah.
He put him in at third base, and in the top of the third or the top of fourth, one of those innings, boom, Henderson took him out. It was 1-1. So give him credit
Big
for that.
move.
Let's take a break. Coming up, did Cam Young win the... It is time to check in with the checkered masses. I put on my glasses to see what's first. Here we go.
Really?
Did Cam Young win the players, or did Matt Fitzpatrick lose it?
Cam won the players. Now, you know this story upsets me. The result upset me. Matty Fitz is a Northwestern alum. I root hard for him as a person and a player. And he had a 3-putt, and he couldn't hit the fairway on 18. And Cam jumped right in there. I mean, first of all, when he hits the tee shot on 17 and it rolls right down there to 10 feet and it's a makeable birdie putt and he drains it, I'm thinking this is not a good result. I had to listen to this on PGA radio because I was in the car.
Really?
And I was.
Shout out PGA Radio. Golf
by
on the
way,
radio.
It was quite good.
Good for you.
I can't. I'm in a bad mood because of it now.
Right.
Because I wanted to see Matty win, but I can't be in a bad mood because the guy took the thing by the horns on 16, 17, 18, the toughest finishing stretch maybe in all of professional golf, and he won it.
Yeah. I'm not going to disagree with who won it. Let me tell you who lost it. Ludwig Oberg lost it.
Yeah.
Okay?
Tough
he went
day.
in the water twice
Tough day.
quicker than you can say Shane Lowry.
Yeah.
So he lost it.
Yeah.
Matty Fitzpatrick had an unfortunate ending of his tee shot on 18. He ends up in the
Rolls
straw.
into the straw.
He climbs back to where he has an 8-foot putt to keep the thing going.
Overtime.
And he just missed it. So he had a real chance
Yes, he
there.
did.
But Cam Young won it.
He won.
He won it with a birdie on 17.
That's the shot.
He won it, yes. He won. That ties Matt Fitzpatrick. 18 is the toughest
Changes the
hole.
momentum.
So many people bogeyed 18. So Cam Young on a 460-yard hole has a sand wedge in.
Goes
Piped a
375.
drive 375.
Yes.
All right, so he's got a very easy, no sweat par.
Yep.
He won the tournament on 17 and 18.
17.
Matt Fitzpatrick contributed to his loss, but Cam Young won the tournament.
He did, Tony. 375. Look, when you hit the
the
greatest
greatest
drive
drive
ever
on that hole.
that hole,
Ever.
you've played there, right?
Yes.
Is it the hardest, scariest hole you've ever played?
It's a very tough hole.
Okay,
Very
I'm still
tough.
in a bad
I'd be
mood.
happy with an 8.
It's my guy, Matty Fitz.
I understand.
How impressed were you with Austin Reaves intentionally missing that free throw?
Okay. That was great on Austin Reeves' part. He threw this ball at the rim at about 80 miles an hour.
Front rim, not back rim.
Front rim. Gathered the ball up and made the tying basket.
Yeah.
All right, now Denver needs to be blamed for this. They did not see this coming in the correct way. They did not orchestrate this correctly. They could have put another guy on the line to block out Reeves, and they didn't do that. Now I'm going to go further afield here.
Okay.
You sit on the show and you constantly say, I don't want to talk about the Lakers stink. Right. And you constantly say, Luka Doncic stinks.
No.
He doesn't play any defense. I don't
He
want
plays one
I don't want to
side
talk about
of the basketball.
I don't want to talk
You want to
about
talk
the
Lakers
Hold
now?
on. Here, let me just say this.
Okay.
You say you want to talk Thunder, you want to talk T-Wolves,
Yep.
you want to talk Rockets,
Yep.
you want to talk Nuggets, you want to talk Spurs every day.
Not today.
Spurs every day.
Lakers.
Okay. The Lakers right now
third.
are third in the conference. They have won 5 in a row, 8 out of 10. You like apples? How about them apples?
Listen. They have done a hell of a job.
I got a number.
Lately, they've done a hell of a job. Whether it's sustainable or not isn't even important today. Now, you've drawn yourself. You know how when the defense opens up the door, now you're going to talk Lakers every day.
No, I'm not.
No, you open the
No, I'm
door.
not. But you
You're
just
going to
think
talk
they
every day.
stink. No.
What I say is Luka Doncic will not appear in the top 3 on my MVP list until he actually plays some defense.
Admit
now
that you don't want to talk about the Lakers. Admit it.
Now I do. You open the
now?
door,
Okay.
counselor.
So, okay.
Yeah, now you did Hamilton Burger.
I was going to say, am I Hamilton Berger and you're Raymond Burr?
But here's the deal. On the free throw, we all been doing this since the playground.
Yes.
And it was great that Austin Reaves admitted it. We usually try to hit the back rim. Austin Reaves smarter than that.
Front rim,
Austin
bang.
was a
to
really
the right side,
smart
the
kid.
left-hand side, so we can go back
Front
up.
rim, so you got a chance. And by the way, how about the fact they let Joker run himself under the basket, the ball bounces correct.
A real mistake strategically by Denver.
By the way, Luka does what Luka does. He hits the shot. Don't ask him to prevent anybody else's shot, but he'll hit the shot.
That's enough email. People who watch this show know how you feel.
Yeah.
Let's take one last break. Still to come, just